Ooh, ooh. Sometimes you just gotta, work on your singing. Um, all right. I solved the donation game exploit. I came up with a solution to prevent this exploit. So the exploit is for classic clothing, t-shirts, and whatever other classic clothing. So I'm just gonna go over the exploit first because sometimes it's like hard to understand. It took me a bit to really get the gist of what was happening. But yeah, let's just go over that first. So as a player, I join a donation game with my donation items for sale being at 1 million. Now this could be any number. I'm just using it for example sake. As a player, I change the price of my donation items for 1 Robux, and we'll say Robux over here too. Robux. For 1 Robux, as a player, I prompt a purchase and press buy. The item is at 1 Robux. As a player, before I press OK, I change the price of the item, of the donation item back to 1 million or whatever price they had. Again, it's just for example's sake. So this is how the exploit works. Now, for game passes, let's go over game passes real quick. So game passes, we get process receipt, which we cannot use for classic clothing. So that's good that we get process receipt. Process receipt runs runs when the player presses buy or purchase. Keep forgetting what like the button title is, but whatever. And then we also get for both of these, we get so game passes and classic clothing sales, we get the purchase finished. Okay. So we don't get, for classic clothing, we don't get this. We don't get this process receipt. And or if we did, we might actually be able to not have to go through extra measures just to prevent this exploit. And then for game passes, so game passes are very simple to fix this or prevent this exploit. For game passes, I'm just gonna write right here, prevent exploit. For game passes, we're going to it's very simple. So on this event, we're going to make a web request to get game pass details, and what we're looking at is the and compare the updated property with the time the player joined the game. All right, so that's how we're preventing it with the game passes. So very reasonable, very I mean, it's not like an issue. We have a prevention tactic for game passes, and it's just fine. We can do all this in Studio. We just need to make a web request to Roblox's API. And that's it. And we just need to make one too. We just need to make one web request when the player two when the player joins, and then when when process receipt runs for the game pass. So for this though, we can't do this for By the way, purchase finished runs when the player presses OK after buyer purchase. I don't know if I explained that. All right, so yeah, we can't do this for classic clothing though, okay? And the reason why is because the updated, I'm gonna remove this sales, we don't need that. And the reason why is because the updated so for some reason, when the price changes for classic clothing, the update property or the updated property doesn't update. So we can't use that. We can't compare. We can't do the same thing that we did with game passes. We also don't get process receipt event for classic clothing. So we can't just compare the price because when we are able to get the price, it may not hold true. Now, my first thought was, okay, let's just make a web request in a loop every 1 second on from Roblox Studio. And we're not able to do that though because we don't want to get rate limited. So we can't make requests directly in Roblox Studio or else we will get rate limited. So I'm gonna go over the prevention now. This is what we're doing basically. From like our own API. Okay, um, so what we're doing is we're making the one making a make a request to our own API on prompt purchase. I'm gonna put like numbers here so it makes sense. One, make a request. Two. So make a request to our own API on prompt purchase. Our API is set up to make requests every 1 second while purchase is active or while purchase is pending. I have it on I have a pending variable. While purchase is pending, and then 3 is on purchase finished. So on purchase finished, we make another request. We make another request that sends down our cache of prices per second. And then step 4 is we get the lowest price. Get the lowest price and use that as the price they bought it for. So there is, I believe there is no possible way that somebody could make like perform this exploit in less than a second. So I'm pretty sure it takes them a little bit more than a second to like that's the fastest amount of time that they can do this exploit. Okay, so that being said, I wouldn't I wouldn't I just lost train of thought. Holy frick. What was I going on about? Yeah, so I think what I was saying was, yeah, I just have it set to run once a second. So like I wouldn't put it under a second. I don't think it needs to be like doing request. You know what I mean? Like making one request per second per transaction, I think is fine. It's reasonable. Now what I have is I have one while loop. I used JavaScript and Node.js to set this up. So this is what I have on. This is how like the actual API is set up. So I have one while loop that is only active during that is only active if there are more than 0 pending transactions. So I don't have a while. If there's no pending transactions, my while loop's not running. Nothing's happening. And then it handles while loop handles all pending transaction requests once per second and stores them in a cache table or whatever table you want to call it. I don't know. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then I set up my own queries, set up queries for making requests to let the API know whether it's to start making requests for the pending transaction or to send the gathered prices as a response and clear that pending transaction. So anytime I have a trending transaction that is not, or anytime I have a pending transaction that is not like active or it's not pending anymore, so it's done, we just clear it. We don't use it. We don't need it. So yeah, I made this with JavaScript and Node.js, and then I deployed it on Railway. So yeah, that is what I did. So to do that, you just set up a GitHub, you make it a GitHub repository, and then you just deploy it. You just sign into Railway, connect your GitHub to your Railway account, and then you just deploy the repo that you want to deploy, and it does all the work for you, and then it will give you your own link that you can use to make web requests. So yeah, it was a process, but you know, I thought it was pretty cool and it was fun, and yeah. So that's it. I think I covered everything here for the most part. I can't think of anything else that I needed to go over for this topic. This is just one solution that I found to prevent classic clothing purchases, exploits, and donation games. Now, I don't know if there's another way, so if y'all know another way, then cool, but like let us know, I guess. But yeah, that's it. So I'll see y'all. Peace.